What up, y'all? It's another Saturday, another episode of the W.E.S.T podcast. I know that I've been out for a minute, but it was worth it. I was actually on assignment. Your boy was handling business. I actually did about 7 different websites for 7 different business ventures that I am working on. So more will probably be breaking down more of that probably in the near future. But of those websites, I gotta say, the one that I'm most proud of is motswest.com. That's right, motswest.com. The site for the Mott's West podcast, video, merch, everything. It is up, it is live, it's ready to go. motswest.com, which was one of the 7. I've been mentioning it for weeks, but it is here. It is ready to go, and I'm so proud of it. And hopefully you guys will go check it out if you're listening. If you're watching on the YouTube, hopefully you'll be watching from motswest.com, and you'll see what the website looks like, and hopefully you like it. And with that in mind, let's get into top news.
The big story of the week was this.
Okay, so earlier this year, during the time when Vince McMahon was under heat, a few months back, it was announced that WWE was going to be sold. He's selling the WWE, and it turns out it was a merger with UFC, and WWE and UFC have come together to form TKO Promotions, or TKO Productions, and or TKO Holdings, something TKO. But anyway, so that has become live, what they call it. It is now in effect as of last Monday's Raw. It's the merger. Everybody that was involved in the merger are now players, and they're making decisions, and big decisions have been made in the form of labor cuts. That's right, another round of WWE firings. We went through this during the pandemic. I told everybody that would listen, whenever a company gets ready to merge with another company, the company that's normally being bought out to make itself more profitable cuts labor, because that's the easiest thing to cut in a company as far as cost. It's the quickest and easiest thing. You eliminate labor, you fire people. I went through it myself with a company that I used to work for when I used to do HOA management. We knew what was coming, and they, basically tried to, play it off as, oh no, nobody's really going to lose their jobs, and we lost about at least a third of the company. So there's a lot of people that are kind of up in arms over this round of firings. But you figure, if we work for the WWE and you've worked through the pandemic, you should probably be used to this kind of thing, which sucks. But a lot of people did get bonuses of upwards of $1 million on their way out. So, hey, it can't be all that bad. I mean, if you want to give me a couple $1 million to go home, I'll gladly take it. So that's that. So of course, those people that got let go of may or may not be living their best week, depending on what their severance pay was. But we're gonna see which show Saturday through Saturday now is. All right, y'all know what we do about this time. I go through each of the shows because wrestling is on Saturday, not Sunday yet. Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday again. And basically I go over the main event of each show, and based upon that, that's really what you need to know about the show, is really the main event, because that's the main story of the show. And from those main events, we pick the one that's... Alright, so let's start Saturday. Alright, so Collision, you had Samoa Joe in the Grand Slam tournament, defeated Penta El Cero. He went on to the final round. I guess there was only a couple rounds because it was like an 8-man tournament. But he defeated Penta in the final or semifinal round of the Grand Slam tournament. Winner of the tournament will face MJF this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. So let's see, we can follow that as it progresses. And then on Monday night you have Monday Night Raw, which was, of course, like I said, the last episode of the McMahon era. And you know what? I'm going to call it the last of the Open Door era, or the Forbidden Door era. And I'll come back to that in a minute. But the main event of Raw saw Rhea Ripley of the Judgment Day, Mommy, the women's champion, defend her title against Raquel Rodriguez. And after the match, guess who shows up? None other than Nia Jax. She takes out Raquel Rodriguez, then comes in the ring and proceeds to give Mommy a proper beatdown. So Nia Jax made her return Monday night, and that's kind of a little bit of foreshadowing. So let's go. We always skip Tuesday because it's the rookies. Sometimes I might put it in there, but that's NXT. So we're going to go right to Wednesday, which is AEW Dynamite. We continue with Samoa Joe in the tournament, and this is the final round. This is to determine who will face MJF. Samoa Joe, his opponent is Roderick Strong, who's actually in kind of a triangle feud with MJF and MJF's partner Adam Cole. Roderick Strong basically says Adam Cole turns his back on his friends for new friends, so he's going to go through the tournament, beat everybody, and take the title, beat MJF for the title, just to put it in Adam Cole's face to show him what a douche he was. But Samoa Joe had other plans. Samoa Joe pretty much tapped Roderick Strong out and basically said, "Oh, Max." So that old Wendy thing is back. So that best heel version of Samoa Joe is back. So he will face MJF next week on AEW Dynamite for the AEW World Heavyweight title. And he also did take out Adam Cole, which is MJF's friend, in order to send a message to MJF at the end of that show. So we'll see what happens when MJF takes on Samoa Joe for the AEW World Heavyweight title. On Thursday, it's Impact's 1000th episode, and its main event was Chris Sabin challenging Lio Rush for a rematch to get his X Division title back. Chris Sabin was successful and won the X Division title for an unprecedented 10th time. This man is now officially the Impact King of the X Division. Now, Friday, we got... I gotta give it up to AEW Rampage because they were slowly but surely falling off. They were really, really lagging and dragging it, but they kind of picked it up with a lot of good matches. The main event was Chris Statlander defending her TBS championship versus the returning Jade Cargill. And I gotta hand it to AEW because they listened to the fans. At first, when they first started out, the fans wanted tag team wrestling back, and then they did it, and then now the message was they want the women's division booked better. And I gotta say, between the outsiders or the Ruby Soho, Saraya, and Tony Storm, the old heads or the originals of AEW, Britt Baker, Sheeta, and Chris Statlander, they've actually been booking the women's division pretty well. And they've actually been keeping the TBS championship and the women's heavyweight championship pretty separate and not having them kind of clash into each one of others. So each title, the TBS and the women's champion, have their own set of challengers for them, and they don't kind of clash and mix up. So it makes the division look more open. So I applaud AEW for what they did by stepping up with the women's division. Of course, Chris Statlander defended her title versus Jade Cargill, but in a turn of events, other than them being bitter rivals, because Chris Statlander at the event I went to returned at a Double or Nothing in Vegas and surprised Jade Cargill to win the TBS championship earlier this year. This time after the match, they hugged it out. So nice to see. But I'm not even gonna hesitate on who's living their best week. I'm not even gonna play around. I'm not even gonna play around. It is not close because I did not know what's going on. I did not know what was happening. But I tune in to Friday Night SmackDown last night. I see Pat McAfee on with Austin Theory in the ring. And this is what Pat McAfee tells Austin Theory.
This is the People's Show. And you know what that means?
And that right there, I got goosebumps. I got goosebumps from hearing that. Even I've heard it, like I've played it, I've had to sample it, edit it, cut it down for the podcast. I still got goosebumps right now. And The Rock had this to say to Austin Theory.
You know whose ring you're in? It's been a long time, Rock. A long time. But let me go ahead and tell you. Shut your bitch ass up.
That's why SmackDown is. And when we come back, we're going to have Mott's West Sports, where we talk about the teams in LA that matters: Lakers, Dodgers, Rams. Then we're going to check out what you watching and see where we could travel for some good eats.
What up, y'all? This is Mott to the Mott's West Podcast. If you want to advertise here on the Mott's West Podcast or run a promo, become a sponsor, have a question, comment, or just want to hit me up, you can find me on Twitter at Motts_West. That's MATTS_West. On Instagram at Mott's West Podcast or MottsWestPodcast@gmail.com.
Our coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked.
That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins.
All right, y'all, let's get into it. Mott Sports West. Yes, yes. Where we talk about the LA teams that matter: Lakers, Dodgers, Rams. Getting right into it. We are 1 week in the football season, y'all, and I'm amped. Let's go, Rams. Rams did their thing. Everybody thought they were going to be tanking to get Caleb Williams, but they came out and smashed the Seahawks without Cooper Kupp. Stepping up, rookie wide receiver Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell both broke records on the first game of the season, and Puka Nacua on the first game of his NFL career. This guy is going to be a problem. I have him on my fantasy. Well, I was lucky enough to get him on my fantasy team because I had Cooper Kupp, who was out, so I was able to draft him. I also had a couple of other injuries on my fantasy team, so I was able to actually pick him up. He was so unexpected, y'all, that on fantasy football, on the I don't know about on other platforms, but on ESPN, when you go to pick your players, he didn't even have a picture. He just had like an outline of a guy. He just had a head, a gray head. Didn't even have his picture in there. That's how unseen this guy was coming. Nobody was expecting him. So there was a scare Of course, with Cooper Cup out, Puka Nakua, it was reported middle of the week that he had a problem with his oblique, but yesterday he, I guess, reached out to everybody and said, "Hey, I'm okay. Let's go." So we rock it with Puka Nakua. So let's go. They got the 49ers at home tomorrow. They are an 8-point dog. So, I would actually take the 8 points. So I don't think it's going to be that. I don't know if the Rams are going to win, to be honest. I hope they do. But they look pretty darn good. But the 49ers look darn unbeatable. I'm not even going to lie. So I would actually take the points. I think it's going to be closer than that. Lakers, Jared Vanderbilt, one of the guys that they signed during the trade deadline switcheroo for Russell Westbrook, signed a 4-year deal totaling $48 million, or I should say an extension, a 4-year extension. He did make a little bit of noise with the team. He was kind of like a second, maybe third tier after, of course, Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves. He was like maybe second or third tier as far as like the players that made some noise kind of went. He had a couple of good standout games, so hopefully we'll see him earn that money this coming up year. Dodgers gearing up for the playoffs. They called up Kyle Hurt, who is reportedly the fastest pitcher in the minor leagues with the most strikeouts. He's set to join the team this week. The Dodgers, of course, will play the Mariners. You might already be watching the game if you're listening to this, but the game starts at 6:40 p.m. The Mariners, they actually play they play the Mariners today, and Dodgers' record is 88-57, good enough to be still first place in the NL West, and good enough. They're going to easily get into the playoffs. But without pitching, we got to see how it goes. Hopefully Kyle Hurt and these young guys could carry through because they do have the bats to do it. But what I want to see right now is what you watching. All right. So I'm amped for a couple of things today. One, I've been watching the previews for Loki Season 2. For those of you that have kind of fallen out, I know it seems like Marvel has kind of taken a back seat and been in the distance with after, She-Hulk and everything. It seems kind of like things are kind of unraveling for the Marvel Universe, literally and figuratively, as in the movies. I think Loki, though, can kind of bring people back in as to what's actually going on. So if you guys don't remember, spoiler alert for season 1, but you should have seen it by now if you're a Marvel person. So basically Loki gets taken out of time and finds out that Kang has been controlling time, and he has been stopping time from breaking apart into all these different alternate timelines and different universes. And so Kang wanted Loki and his Loki variant, the female, Cersei, or whatever her name was. Oops, sorry. Kang wanted them to kind of take over and basically keep the timeline safe from breaking off, and basically having the possibility of another multiverse war. But as we know, that didn't go as planned, as Cersei stabbed Kang and then left the timelines breaking out. So now Loki and Mobius, played by Owen Wilson, are having to kind of pick up, and Loki is the only one who actually knows really what's going on and what happened. So they got to figure, basically he's got to get Mobius up to speed, and they're going to have to basically go and see how they can, or even if they can fix the timelines from branching out. What I'm looking forward to today, though, is Coach Prime and Colorado taking on Colorado State later on tonight. And that's going to be interesting because the coach at Colorado State stepped all the way in it, both feet, 10 toes down. And I hope Dion runs it up on him, hat and sunglasses and all. So that's what I'm looking forward to. As far as travel's going, I'm about to get kind of back into it. So, but I don't know if I may have mentioned it before on the last episode because I've kind of been out. But my last travel adventure was in St. Louis. I had gone to the Waffle House and gone to the Waffle House at the witching hour. So I braved the Waffle House. It was uneventful. The service was okay. You know, they were a little, you know, of course, like they're on edge and they have attitudes, of course. But man, the food that I got for the price that I got it for, man, talk about $10 for like a whole burger, hash browns, drink, breakfast. You know what I'm saying? That, and man, was it good. You can actually taste the patty. I kid you not, it was like a big old burger, and you could taste the patty seasoning. Man, so that's the secret of the Waffle House, y'all. It is actually really darn good. I've never had it before, so if you're in St. Louis or anywhere in the Midwest, try you some Waffle House. And I'll probably be back maybe somewhere in Denver. Definitely gonna be in Vegas soon, so I'll try and find some interesting place to venture to and tell y'all what's up. Of course, you guys know about what's going on in Vegas. They had the floods a couple weeks ago or a week ago. Then the MGM hotels are being hacked. They're, you know, reverted back to the Stone Age. So I don't know what's going on. So let me get off the air and get out of here before I get hacked. So until next week, y'all, go to motswest.com and check it out. See what you can see. Get you some merch. All right. Peace.